Students, I welcome you to the Social Science online class. Today, we are going to see ninth standard 8th lesson, the beginning of the modern age. The lesson topic is the beginning of the modern age. Let us come here, we can see learning objectives. What we are going to learn from this lesson, that we will see. First one, to know the cultural, religious and economic changes that shaped the modern world. Okay, to know the cultural, religious and economic changes, it shaped the modern world. Second one, humanism as an idea transforming the outlook of the people of the Middle Ages. So, they give importance to the humanism. Next one, Protestant Reformation that emphasized more faith than rituals. Reformation emphasized faith on God. Next one, discovery of America and new sea route to the east leading commercial revolution and the establishment of colonies. So, they find out a new sea route, discover America and so many, they find out a new sea route to India likewise. This also commercially they develop. These are the, under this topic we are going to see today. In the 14th and 15th century, Western Europe underwent dramatic changes in the political, social, cultural, religious and economic spheres. So, what happened in Europe, mainly in Western Europe, 14th and 15th centuries, so much of changes, important, great changes happen in the political level, social, cultural, religious and economic spheres also. And Italian humanist Petrarch Canzonio and Martin Luther's 95 Theses, Portugal Prince Henry's Navigation School heralded the dawn of the modern era. These are the important things for the modern era. Dawn, bringing early morning, that like it's so much of development happened. The modern era means period, was characterized by the freedom of thought. It gave an idea of freedom of thought and in individualism. Individually we can do rationalism and economic and scientific progress. In this lesson, let us look at the changes ushered in by the Renaissance, Reformation and geographical discoveries. Under these headings, we can see that is Renaissance means revival or rebirth, and Reformation and geographical discoveries. One by one, we can see. Causative factors. Now we will see the topics. The first one is causative factors, the main causes for this modern age changes. Growth of trade and rise of towns. With the decline of feudalism, Europe was gradually moving towards urbanization. Decline. What was decline? Feudalism. You know already last lesson we studied what is feudalism. So after that, Europe was gradually moving towards the urbanization. This process started first in Italy. Where it started first? Italy. Because what's the reason? Because of its prosperous Mediterranean trade. That is prosperous Mediterranean trade. The Arabs brought spices from the east and then transported them by land to the ports of the Mediterranean region. First they brought the spices from east and then they transported to the land to the ports of the Mediterranean region. Following the expansion of trade, so the trade was expanded. Trade, a strong network of banking and financial institutions to develop in Italy. So, what developed? Network, a strong network of banking and financial institutions were developed in Italy. In this context, new ideas leading to the Renaissance, Reformation, and exploration through sea voyages were born. So, this also first reason. Invention of the printing press. The invention of the printing press accelerated the process of modernization. So, because of the invention of the printing press, it was modernization. Earlier manuscripts were written by hand and on animal skin called vellum. So, they written it on animal skin. Only the privileged few could access them. That is, it was accepted by some of them only. Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press. Who invented the printing press? Johannes Gutenberg in Germany in the middle of the 15th century. So when he invented means 15th, middle of the 15th century. The invention of printing press not only spread knowledge, so it was useful for not only spread of knowledge widely, but also promoted critical thinking also. It helped to promoted the critical thinking also. Fall of Constantinople. In 1453 CE, Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, was captured by the Ottoman Turks. So, which year Constantinople was captured means 1453, and it was the capital of Byzantine Empire, and who captured means Ottoman Turks. This acted as a catalyst for the birth of Renaissance. Renaissance means revival, rebirth, marumalarchi. Then we can say it also led to the discovery of new land routes. So it was a help to birth of Renaissance and led to the discovery of new land routes also. Renaissance. With the coming of the scholars and artists from Constantinople, there was a surge of enthusiasm and interest in studying classical literature and art of Greeks and Romans in the Italian city-states. So, the help with the coming of the scholars, learned persons and artists and all, from where they came means Constantinople, and very interestedly they started to study the classical literature and arts of Greek and Romans in the Italian city-states. Where they stayed and start this work means Italy. This creative upsurge was reflected in their writings. So afterwards it changed. Where we can say the reflection means writings, in their writings, art, architecture and music also. This cultural fluorescence is known as the Renaissance. The cultural fluorescence is known as the Renaissance. Renaissance means revival, rebirth, already I told. Why Italy became the birthplace of Renaissance? Why Italy became the birthplace of Renaissance? Why Renaissance happened in Italy means now we will see the reason. Italian city-states such as Florence, Milan, Venice and Rome profited immensely from the Mediterranean trade. So, which are the cities got the profit means Florence, Milan, Venice and Rome. This led to the emergence of a rich and vibrant urban culture. So, this led to the emergence of a rich and vibrant urban culture. The study of humanities was so popular in the Italian universities. What they study means humanities. It was so popular in the Italian universities that students from all over the Europe flocked there. From all the side of the Europe, students they came and started to study the humanities. Classical Greek and Latin literature introduced the idea of humanism. So which are the one means Greek and Latin literature introduced the idea of humanism, which got reflected in the, we can see in paintings, sculptures, architecture, music, and writings of that period. Humanism in literature. The idea of humanism was first expressed in literature. Already we saw it first expressed in literature work only. They argued that man was endowed with reason and the ability to attain true knowledge and greatness. They argued what matter endowed with the reason and the ability, they can have a right to ask a reason, ability to attain true knowledge and greatness. Petrarch 1304 to 1374 CE was the first to adopt ideas of classical humanism in his work and is therefore called the father of humanism. Who was the father of humanism means Petrarch. Why means he was the first person adopt the ideas of classical humanism in his work, and Dante, influenced by the classes, wrote Divine Comedy. So who wrote Divine Comedy means Dante. Machiavelli wrote a political treatise called The Prince. In this book, he wrote about the virtues that a ruler should possess, and Erasmus, known as the prince among the humanities, wrote in Praise of Folly. Sir Thomas More of England wrote Utopia, a satire on the political evils of his time. So Sir Thomas More of England wrote Utopia and a satire on the political evils at the time, what happened in the political lives, evils of his time. Humanism. The idea of humanism was a central feature of Renaissance. Next one, the humanism. The idea of humanism was a central main theme of Renaissance. It laid emphasis on human dignity and nature. It gave importance to the human dignity, Manidabhimanam, and nature. In the medieval period, man was considered a mere agent of the God. He was the agent of God on earth to do his will. அவருடைய விருப்பங்களை செய்வது. Renaissance humanism promoted the view that humans are endowed with the attributes having a power that are to be used to achieve greatness. It turned the gaze of the people from the other world to this world, one world to another world. From spiritual world, that means spiritual world to material world. First they gave importance to spiritual, now material world. The focus shifted from life after death to life in this world. The focus, for which one they gave a focus means that is shifted from life after the death. First they give importance to life in this world. Impact on art. Renaissance paintings and sculptures were realistic and naturalistic. First Renaissance literature பார்த்தோம், humanism, இப்போ art. So they improved over medieval paintings and sculptures which were stylish, unrealistic and two-dimensional. So their medieval paintings improved, stylish, unrealistic and two-dimensional also. In the field of art, great artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo and Raphael dominated the scene and produced some of the finest artist works. So these three were very important persons. Leonardo da Vinci 1452 to 1519 AD or CE was a versatile genius. He was a painter, so many things he had: painter, sculptor, architect, military engineer, anatomist and poet. one person having these qualities. His paintings of Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, and The Virgin of the Rocks are illustrious example. We can't see that type of architecture of his talent. It shows his talent. Michelangelo, 1475 to 1564 CE, was a painter, sculptor, architect, and poet. His marble sculpture of David depicts the youthful strength and energy of the giant slayer. அவருடைய அந்த டேவிட் டெபிக்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிற அந்த பெயிண்டிங்ஸ் ஆனது ஸ்கல்ப்சர் ஆனது அந்த இளமைத்தன்மையையும் எனர்ஜிட்டிக்கையும் காமிக்குது. He is also famous for his painting in the ceilings of the Sistine Chapel in Rome. First introductionல I gave this picture. Sistine Chapel in Rome. Raphael 1483 to 1520 CE painted beautiful Madonna's Virgin and the Child. So his paintings, famous painting was Madonna's. Science during Renaissance. The advances in science were inspired by Ptolemy, Archimedes, Euclid, and others of the classical period. Science were inspired by these persons. William Harvey discovered the circulation of blood. Then Copernicus proved that the earth revolved around the sun through a mathematical model. Who proved means Copernicus. And who discovered the circulation of blood means William Harvey. Galileo provided further astronomical proof with the aid of the telescope he invented. So who invented the telescope means Galileo. However, he was forced by the in-question to withdraw. So to know about more with that. So they asked them to withdraw his findings on the threat of the death penalty. The church thus continued to prevent the growth of the science as it undermined its importance. So the church continued to prevent means stopped the growth of the science. Only spiritual want to grow more as it undermined its importance. Effects of Renaissance. Its most important contribution was the idea of humanism. So now what were the effects we will see. First one contribution was the idea of humanism. Give a more important to the humanity. The introduction and practice of writing in the vernacular, their own language. Vernacular means their own language. Starting from Dante, enriched the growth of the vernacular languages. It helped to growth of the vernacular languages, and which in turn provided the intellectual basis for the rise of nation states. Then Renaissance made a beginning in criticizing the corrupt and worldly practice of the church. So it's made a beginning in criticizing, saying the corruptions and worldly practices of the church. Discovery of new land routes and remapping of the world. Discovery of new land routes helpful to remapping of the world. Similarly, inquisitiveness, that is curiosity, arvam, and empirism of Renaissance, that means scientific knowledge, அறிவுபூர்வமாக. Renaissance combined with knowledge of the classical science led to new inventions in science. It helped to find new inventions in science. Next topic is Reformation. The Roman Catholic Church was a powerful institution during the Middle Ages. Which one is the powerful institution? The Roman Catholic Church. Okay. Then the church enjoyed both spiritual and temporal powers apart from the religious control. It also exercised political control in certain areas such as the papal state. There only it had a political control. The Pope was its head. Who was head? The Pope. His office was known as papacy. How was the office known as papacy? The Pope wielded spiritual authority over the Christians of Europe, cutting across the territorial boundaries. Then the church prescribed a number of finances for the various sins பாவங்கள் were made to believe that participation in the mass means a ceremony in the Christian would reduce the sin. Have to attend the mass compulsory. The church even began to grant pardon known as the sale of indulgence. That means they want to pay money, payment to the Catholic Church. Inquisition அறியும் ஆர்வம் உள்ள அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். Inquisition was an institution of Catholic Church to deal with the heresies beliefs in opposition to the Catholic faith. அந்த Catholic faith நம்பிக்கை யார் அப்போஸ் பண்ணுறாங்களோ அவங்கள those found guilty குற்றம் உள்ளவர்கள் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு who recanted were awarded milder punishment and imprisonment also. They gave a milder, who opposing this, they gave a punishment and imprisonment. And those who refused to recant were burnt at the stake. That is who refused. அந்த குற்றத்தை மறுத்தாங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் உடனே அவங்களுக்கு அந்த பனிஷ்மெண்ட்டும் இருக்கும். அந்த கழுகு மரம் அந்த கூர்மையான மரத்தில் ஏற்றிடுவாங்க. The most infamous Inquisition was the Spanish. Next one, Martin Luther, 1483 to 1556. Martin Luther, a monk of the Augustinian order and a professor of theology in the University of Wittenberg, was a devout Christian, true Christian, and a scrupulous follower. That means a very careful follower of the Catholic faith. However, on his visit to Rome, one time he visited Rome, he was shocked by the luxurious life of the officials of the church. He saw that is the luxurious life of the official of the church. Martin Luther wrote a pamphlet against the sale of intelligence, sale of office, and other corrupt practices. So, one time he visited Rome. He was shocked by the luxurious life of the official of the church. So, he not at all liked that. Immediately, he wrote a pamphlet against the sale of intelligence, sale of office, other corrupt practices. He listed out 95 points. How many points? 95 points. And pasted them on the church door of Wittenberg. On the church door of Wittenberg. Martin Luther signaled his revolt by publicly burning the papal bull. Later, the points he raised became the famous 95 Theses. Soon they were printed and circulated widely. When attempts of the church to make him, they asked him, withdraw his criticism failed. Okay, so Martin Luther signaled his revolt by publicly burning the papal bull. Luther further elaborated his differences with the church. He rejected the belief that ceremonies and finances would lead to the salvation. He not accepted the belief that ceremonies and finances would lead to the salvation. He argued that by faith alone, by the faith only we can get it alone, that one could attain salvation. He told, by faith alone that one could attain salvation. He put forward the doctrine of justification by faith. நம்பிக்கையினால் ஒத்துக்கணும். The grace of God would be bestowed by the divine will alone and not by the deeds of the people. Thus, Luther's Reformation marked the first successful break. He broke down from the Catholic Church and started another one, that is, and establishment of the Protestant Church. So, who established the Protestant Church means Martin Luther. The Reformation. The Protestant Reformation posed a threat to the Catholic Church. So, the Protestant Reformation gave a threat to the Catholic Church. In order to meet the challenge, Pope Paul III and his successors introduced a number of rigorous reforms in the church. Severe, rigorous means severe. So, in order to meet the challenge, Pope Paul III and his successors, the next persons, introduced a number of rigorous, severe reforms in the church, dealt with corruption severely, and stopped the sale of offices also. So, they stopped the corruptions and sale of offices. The Council of Trent re-emphasized the importance of ceremonies and the significance of the Mass also. They gave a importance to the ceremonies as well as the Mass. This reformation of the Catholic Church from within is known as Counter-Reformation. The reformation of the Catholic Church from within is known as Counter-Reformation. What is Counter-Reformation is this? This is the answer. Saint Ignatius Loyola and Society of Jesus. Saint Ignatius Loyola founded the Society of Jesus to propagate Christianity, to spread the Christianity. Its main work was through education and service to the destitute. That is, destitute means poor. With people giving alms to them. It started a number of educational institutions, orphanages, and homes for the destitute. Soon their missionaries were present in all parts of the world, most of the parts of the world, to spread Catholic religion. Their main aim was to spread the Catholic religion. How? Through the service and the education. Next topic is geographical discoveries. Causes. What are the causes for the geographical discoveries? Henry the Navigator of Portugal laid the foundation for long distance sea voyages. So, who found the sea voyages? Means Henry the Navigator belongs to the Portugal, laid the foundation for the long distance sea voyages. He established a navigation school to train the sailors. He established a school. What school? Navigation school to train the sailors. The impulse for seafaring and adventurous spirit to explore uncharted sea waters were kindled, means that is தூண்டுறது, by the curiosity generated by the Renaissance. The impulse for seafaring and adventurous spirit to explore uncharted the sea water was kindled by the curiosity generated by the, that is, Renaissance, rebirth, revival. Under the travel accounts of Marco Polo and Ibn Battuta also. But the primary factor was economic only. Main factor, that is economic. When the Ottoman Turks blocked the land route between the east and west, who blocked the route? Ottoman Turks. And spices and other goods became costlier. The European traders were deprived of the huge profits they were earning out of their trade in spices. This intensified the urge to discover a new sea route to Asia. This is the main reason for the discover of a new sea route. That is, they sold spices in a huge profits, so that only they find out a new sea route to Asia. Now, we are going to see Portuguese explorations. First we studied what were the causes for the geographical discoveries. Now, Portuguese explorations. The sailors of Prince Henry had travelled into Atlantic up to the islands of Azores and Madeira. They explored the west coast of Africa. Lobo Gonzalez was the first sailor to cross the equator. So, the sailors of Prince Henry, he travelled into Atlantic up to the islands of Azores and Madeira. Then they explored the west coast of Africa also. Next person, Lobo Gonsalves, was the first sailor, he only the first sailor to cross the equator. Till then, sailors did not dare to venture beyond as they harbored fears about boiling waters and sea monsters. அது வரைக்கும் இவர் தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு பர்சன். அது வரைக்குமே வந்து மற்ற sailors-லாம் அங்கே வெந்நீர் ஊற்றுக்கள்லாம் இருக்கும், கடல் மிருகங்கள்லாம் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த பக்கம் போகவே இல்லை. Bartholomew Dias went further down the African coast, reaching Cape Point or the southern tip of the Africa. Bartholomew Dias, he ventured or reached the Cape Point of the southern tip of Africa in the year 1487, which here he reached means 1487. He named it the Cape of Storms as he encountered first storms there. At that time, storm was there, so he gave a name Cape of Storms. However, King John II of Portugal renamed it as Cape of Good Hope, and who renamed King John II of Portugal renamed it as Cape of Good Hope as it provided hope to reach India by sea. This is the way want to reach the India. So he gave a name Cape of Good Hope. The Portuguese established trading posts along the west coast of Africa, dealing in lumber, ivory and slaves also. The slaves were employed. They brought the slaves from Africa and they were employed in the sugarcane plantations, and sugar was exported to Europe. Here I gave a map. You have to see the routes of Bartholomew Dias, Vasco da Gama, Columbus, Magellan. It is a very important question, so please check there or see there. Spain and discovery of the New World in 1492 CE. Columbus, with the support of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, set sail in 3 ships. He crossed the Atlantic Ocean and reached the Bahamas Island, Cuba and Haiti. So, Columbus, with the support of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, they only supported, set sail in 3 ships. He crossed the Atlantic Ocean and reached the Bahamas Island, Cuba and Haiti. Amerigo Vespucci, another sailor, made 3 or 4 voyages and landed on the American mainland. He realized that it was not Asia and that they had stumbled upon a new continent. It was a new continent, he felt, he realized. Hence he called it the New World. Who? Amerigo Vespucci. Then later a German cartographer, while preparing a map, cartographer means map making, preparing a map of the world, named the New World after Amerigo Vespucci, called it America, in the name of America. Portuguese-Spanish rivalry. The Portuguese claimed the territories discovered by Columbus. The dispute was referred to the Pope Alexander VI, who drew an imaginary line north to southwest of Azores and declared that the territories to the west of that line belonged to Spain and that of the east to the Portuguese. The Portuguese claimed the territory which was discovered by Columbus, and Pope Alexander drew an imaginary line north to south of Azores and declared the territory to west and the Portuguese, Spain, and that of the east to the Portuguese. In the year 1497, Vasco da Gama sailed from Portugal as the head of 4 ships to find a sea route to India by going around Africa. So Vasco da Gama sailed from Portugal as the head of 4 ships to find a sea route to India by going around of Africa. After reaching the Cape of Good Hope, he set a sail to India with the help of an Arab navigator. With the help of an Arab navigator, he set a sail to India. On 20th May 1498 CE, he reached Calicut and the Malabar coast. When Vasco da Gama reached India means on 20th May 1498. At Calicut, Vasco da Gama was astounded to find a pepper and other spices also. Calicut, Vasco da Gama saw so much of pepper and other spices, precious commodity in Portugal, available at low prices. He brought it in a low prices. In 1519 CE, Ferdinand Magellan sailed westward and crossed the strait, which later came to be known as Magellan Strait. As the sea was calm, he called it the Pacific Ocean. At the time, the sea was calm, so he gave a name Pacific Ocean. On reaching an island, he named it as Philippines after the Spanish Prince Philip. He gave a name for an island, Philippines, after the Spanish Prince Philip. He was killed in a war with the local. With the war, he was killed. However, the ship in which he had travelled returned to Spain. Only his ship returned to Spain. Thus, the first circumnavigation of the world had taken place. Impact of geographical discoveries. What were the benefits? Impact of geographical discoveries. One of the most important outcomes of the conquest of Americas by the European colonial powers was the movement of plants, animals, technology, culture, and strange diseases between the America and the Europe, or between the New World and the Old World. This is known as Columbian Exchange. What is Columbian Exchange means? Everything they exchange, that including diseases also. So this is known as Columbian Exchange. The geographical discoveries transform the European understanding of the world. The geographical discovery transformed the European understanding of the world. It led to the redrawing of the world map. Once again, they draw the map also. Both Spain and Portugal established colonies that led to their economic prosperity. Spain and Portugal established so many colonies so that it led to their economic prosperity also. Plants such as maize, potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, pineapple, beans and cocoa, and animals such as turkey and guinea pigs were transported from America and introduced in Europe. From America to they introduced in Europe, and the same way Europe went to sugarcane, wheat, rice, horses, cattle, sheep, goats. To America, the introduction of sugarcane led to the establishment of sugarcane plantations in the Caribbean island and South America. These plantations initially employed natives. The native people got the job. Geographical discoveries led to the commercial revolution also. As a result of geographical discoveries, the 17th century witnessed the emergence of various East India companies, that is, such as the English East India Company, the Dutch East India Company, and the French East India Companies likewise. The Portuguese, after discovering a new sea route to India, enforced its monopoly on the spice trade of East Indies, eliminating competitions of the Arabs. The English East India Company had monopoly trade in India and amassed huge wealth. They got the power in our country, the East India Company. Okay children, now we will wind up the class. What we learned from this lesson means cultural, religious and economic changes that shape the modern world, humanism, then Protestant Reformation and discovery of new sea route. Then it is our duty to protect the art and architecture of the modern age. Thank you. God bless you.